Hi everyone, this is Heather here with Treasured Hometown. Today I wanted to take a moment to teach you how to create these velvet crochet stuffed rabbits. These work up fairly easily and make a wonderful addition, especially with the upcoming Easter holiday. They actually use just very simply two different colors of the brunette velvet yarns. And I will have a PDF version of the pattern available ad-free for purchase in my Etsy shop, and it will actually be linked in the video description box below, as well as links for all the materials used to create these, and they'll also be linked in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day. Hello everyone and welcome back. For today's video, we'll need just a few supplies. We're going to be using a pair of scissors in order to cut our yarn. We'll need a couple of safety eyes. Now, if you are making this for a child under the age of 3, I do not recommend safety eyes. I do recommend that you use some lace yarn and sew on eyes and a mouth into it instead. But for this one, we're not making it for under 3, so safety eyes are available. We'll need a darning needle in order to weave in all of our ends. For this, I'll be using a 4mm crochet hook. We'll need some polyfill. We'll need a bit more than this in order to stuff our project. And then we're going to use 2 different colors of the brunette velvet yarn. You can use the regular velvet yarn or the baby velvet. I am using this one. It's a little variegated, so I decided to make a kind of like a calico looking rabbit. And then I'm also using a light pink for it also. This is just for the insides of the ears and the feet. Alright, to begin this project, we're starting with the pink yarn. I've just created a slip knot. You might want to use a marker for this pattern, but that's entirely up to you. So once we have our slip knot made, we're going to chain 7. And then from here, we're going to single crochet into that second chain from your hook. And just for reference, so we don't lose our space at all, I'm going to set the marker right into that very last chain that we did from our chain. Now we want to single crochet once into our next 4 stitches. Now that we're at our last chain, we want to single crochet 3 times into this last chain. Now working back down this side, we put 3 into here. Now we're going to work down this side. We want to single crochet once into our next 4 stitches. And then into that last stitch, we're going to put 2 single crochets into there. Now we're going to slip stitch into that chain 1, so that very last chain of the entire round, in order to join. So we had into that first stitch 1 single crochet and then 2, so 3, and then we slip stitch into the chain 1 in order to join. So there is the end of round 1. For round 2, we're going to chain 1 and make sure our marker goes into that first chain 1 stitch of the round. Now we're going to put 2 single crochets into our next stitch. And then we're going to single crochet once into our next 4 stitches. And then we're going to put 2 single crochets into each of the next 3 stitches. And then we're going to single crochet once into your next 4 stitches. And into your next 2 stitches, we're going to put 2 single crochets. And then we're back here at that marked chain 1. We're going to simply slip stitch right into there in order to join. And there is the end of round 2. For round 3, we're going to replace our marker. And then we're going to chain 1. Now we're going to, into our next stitch, we're going to put 2 single crochets, and then we're going to single crochet once into your next 6 stitches, and from here we're going to single crochet 2 times into each of the next 4 stitches. And then we're going to single crochet once into your next 6 stitches. Now we're going to single crochet 2 times into each of your next 3 stitches. And then slip stitch into that marked chain 1 stitch of the round in order to join. And there we are with the end of round 3. For round 4, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to single crochet once into each of the next 28 stitches. And then slip stitch into that chain 1 stitch at the beginning of the round in order to join. And there we are with the end of round 4. For round 5, we're going to attach our second color yarn, or the body color yarn that we're going to be using. From here we chain 1, and now we're going to work. If you can see, we have the 2 loops on our chains. We got the front loops and the back loops. We're going to work into only the back loops for this round. So we're going to single crochet once into your next 28 stitches, only working in back loops for all of these. And then slip stitch into your marked chain 1 of the round in order to join. And there we are with the end of round 5. Now for rounds 6, 7, and 8, we're going to repeat also round 5. So we chain 1, single crochet once into your next 28 stitches, slip stitch into the chain 1 stitch in order to join. And once again, we want to repeat that going forward all the way through until we complete round 8. Now we've completed through round 8. So for round 9, we're going to chain 1 and then single crochet once into your next 6 stitches. Now we're going to single crochet decrease 6 times. So to decrease, we go into the stitch, pull up a loop, go into your next stitch and pull up a loop. So we have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over and go through all 3 loops. Now we want to repeat that 5 more times. And then we're going to single crochet once into your next 10 stitches. And then slip stitch into your chain 1 in order to join. And there we are with the end of round 9. For round 10, we're going to chain 1. And then we're going to single crochet once into your next 5 stitches. And then we're going to single crochet decrease 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to single crochet once into your next 9 stitches. And then slip stitch into your chain 1 in order to join. And there we are with the end of round 10. Now for round 11, we're going to chain 1 and then single crochet once into your next 18 stitches. And round 11 through 24, we're going to just repeat this same process over and over until we hit the end of round 24. And as we keep going up, we want to periodically start stuffing inside of our leg, starting at the bottom. And then once we get to the end of round 24, we want to tie off and leave about a 12-inch tail onto the end. And then come back and repeat the same process from round 1 and make the other leg. So here now we have both of our legs completed. Here was our first leg and here's our second. We're going to position them so that the back of the legs are facing towards us. Now on our second leg, we're going to, I'm going to use the marker here. And from here, we're going to chain 1. And then we want to single crochet into the next 4 stitches. And then from here, we take our second, and we want to count over 4 stitches, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, count over from the back seam 4 stitches onto our first leg, and we're going to single crochet into that stitch. Now we want to single crochet all the way around this second leg, so that will be 18 total single crochets. So we just did our first, so 2, 3, 4, and then that was where our seam joined. So stitch 5, skip over those slip stitches, and 18, which brought us all the way around from leg 1. Now we're going to continue over back to leg number 2. So here's the stitch where we finished off from after our first 4. So into the next one, we're going to single crochet into there, and then into the next 12 stitches, so 13 total. And then once we're back at the beginning, we want to slip stitch into that marked chain 1 of the round in order to join. And there we are with the first round for the body. Now, before we go forward, that extra long tail we left from leg 1, as you can see, there's a very small little opening here. Here we can use our darning needle, and we're just going to stitch back and forth using that end to try and close up that little bit of an opening. Now for round 2 of the body, we're going to start with a chain 1, and then we're going to single crochet once into your next 3 stitches. And then into our next 2 stitches, we're going to put 2 single crochets. Now we're going to single crochet once into our next 16 stitches. Now into our next 2 stitches, we're going to put 2 single crochets. And then we're going to single crochet once into your next 13 stitches. And then slip stitch into your chain 1 stitch of the round in order to join. And there we are with the second round of the body. And for reference, this round would have done 40 single crochet stitches. For round 3 of the body, we're going to chain 1. And then we're going to single crochet once into your next 24 stitches. Now we want to put 2 single crochets into the next stitch, and then into the next stitch we're going to do 2 single crochets also. And then we're going to single crochet once into the next 14 stitches, and then slip stitch into your chain 1 stitch of the round in order to join. And there we are with round 3 of the body. For rounds 4 through 16, these are a repeat. So we start with the chain 1 and then single crochet once into each stitch all the way around. You should have a total of 42 single crochet stitches made per round. So round 4 through 16 is just a repeat of this, and I'll meet you back here on round 17. All right, for round 17, once again, we chain 1 and then single crochet once into your next 4 stitches. And then single crochet, decrease. And then we just want to repeat this 6 more times. Single crochet into your next 4 stitches, and then single crochet, decrease. So a total of 7 repeats. So go ahead and do it 6 more times, and then slip stitch into your chain 1 in order to join. And there we are with the end of round 17. For round 18, we chain 1, and then we're going to single crochet once into each stitch all the way around in the entire opening of this body. So we'll end up having a total of 35 single crochet stitches made. And then at the end of the round, be sure to slip stitch into your chain 1 in order to join. For round 19, chain 1, and then we're going to single crochet into your next 8 stitches. And then single crochet, decrease. And then we're going to repeat this, single crochet into your next 8 stitches, and then single crochet, decrease 2 more times. And then we're going to single crochet once into your next 5 stitches. And then slip stitch into your chain 1 stitch in order to join. And that is the end of round 19. For round 20, chain 1, and then single crochet once into each stitch all the way around. Now you should have made 32 single crochet stitches, and then slip stitch into your chain 1 in order to join. And there we are with the end of round 20. For round 21, chain 1, and then single crochet, decrease, and then single crochet once into your next 6 stitches. And then we're going to repeat this 3 more times. Single crochet, decrease, single crochet into your next 6 stitches, and then slip stitch into your chain 1 stitch in order to join. And there's the end of round 21. For round 22, chain 1, and then we're simply going to single crochet once into your next 28 stitches, and then slip stitch into your chain 1 in order to join the round. And there we are with the end of round 22. And just to show you, here it is, the body working up from the feet. For round 23, chain 1, and then we're going to single crochet, decrease, and then single crochet once into your next 2 stitches. And we want to repeat this 6 more times. Single crochet, decrease, single crochet once into your next 2 stitches, and then slip stitch into your chain 1 in order to join. And there we are with the end of round 23. For round 24, we chain 1 and then single crochet once into your next 21 stitches, and then slip stitch into your chain 1 in order to join. And there's the end of round 24. For round 25, chain 1, then we single crochet, decrease, and then single crochet once into your next 2 stitches, and we want to repeat this 5 more times. Single crochet, decrease, single crochet into your next 2 stitches, and then slip stitch into your marked chain 1 in order to join. And there we are with the end of round 25. For round 26, chain 1 and then single crochet into each stitch going around, so single crochet 16 times, and then slip stitch into your chain 1 in order to join. And there is the end of round 26. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and pull up a loop. I'm going to leave about 18 inches, and we'll tie off. Now we need this tail long enough. This is where we're going to sew on our head to. And we'll go ahead and from here start stuffing our body. From here, we're going to start making the head. So we're going to create a magic ring. So hold your yarn between your thumb and forefinger and wrap around your 2 fingers with your working end facing towards you, and then lay it back. Insert your hook between your fingers to grab the tail end of the yarn and pull up a loop. From here, chain 1. Now we're going to be doing single crochet 8 times into the magic ring. And then we're going to pull the tail end of our magic ring in order to close. Here we're going to just be working in the round, so no need to do a slip stitch and a chain 1. Here's the end of round 1. Now I'm going to use the marker to mark the last stitch from our previous row. For our next round, we're going to single crochet 2 times into each stitch, going all the way around from the previous row. So this round will end up having a total of 16 single crochet stitches made. And there we are with the end of round 2. For round 3, into our first stitch, we're going to put 2 single crochets, and then 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and we're going to repeat this 7 more times. 2 single crochets into the first stitch, 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and this round will end up having a total of 24 single crochet stitches made. And there we are with the end of round 3. For round 4, we're going to put 2 single crochets into your first stitch, and then 1 single crochet into your next 2 stitches. And we're going to repeat this 7 more times. 2 single crochets into your first stitch, 1 single crochet into your next 2 stitches. In this round we'll have a total of 32 single crochet stitches made. And there's the end of round 4. For round 5, we're going to single crochet once into the next 32 stitches. And there we are with the end of round 5. For round 6, we single crochet 2 times into our first stitch, and then single crochet once into your next 3 stitches. And we're going to repeat this 7 more times. 2 single crochets into your first stitch, 1 single crochet into your next 3 stitches. And there we are with the end of round 6. For round 7, we're simply going to single crochet once into your next 40 stitches. And there we are with the end of round 7. For rounds 8 through 14, we're simply going to repeat round 7. So single crochet once into your next 40 stitches. For round 15, in our first stitch, we're going to single crochet, decrease. Then we're going to single crochet once into your next 3 stitches. And we're going to repeat this 7 more times. Single crochet, decrease, single crochet into your next 3 stitches. And there we are with the end of round 15. For round 16, we'll single crochet, decrease, and then single crochet once into your next 2 stitches. And we're going to repeat this 7 more times. Single crochet, decrease, single crochet once into your next 2 stitches. And here we are at the end of round 16. As we can see, it's starting to close up a little bit. For round 17, we'll single crochet, decrease, and then single crochet once into your next stitch. And then we're going to repeat this 7 more times. Single crochet, decrease, single crochet once into your next stitch. And there we are with the end of round 17. Now from here, we're simply going to pull up a long loop, roughly about 18 inches. And cut our yarn, and from there we'll be able to use that to attach to the body. Now our next step is we want to apply the safety eyes and nose. Now to figure out where to place the eyes, I'm counting down from the very top center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now in the space between rows 7 and 8, I'm going to insert one safety eye, and then I'm going to go over roughly about 4 stitches in between and insert the other safety eye right into that space. Now for the nose, I'm going down from row 8, 9, 10, 11, and then right in between rows 11 and 12, and in between those eyes, I'm inserting my nose there, and then you can go ahead and add your backings onto it, and then stuff the head with your polyfill. Now from here, we're going to attach our head to the body of our rabbit. So you want to make sure that the head is lined up to the center. And then where the end of our tail, I started with the tail end from the head. And from here, we're going to match up stitch to stitch because we had 16 stitches on our top and our bottom. And we're just going to sew right along the opening of our head to attach it to the rest of the body. Now just to show you, we do have the head attached to our rabbit. Now from here we're going to start making the ears. We're going to make 2 of these first with the pink, and we're also going to use 2 with the cream, but first let's start with the pink. So from here I made a slip knot. We'll want to chain 5. Then into your second chain from the hook, we want to put 2, we want to single crochet once into that second chain from the hook, and then once into the next 3 stitches. And here's round 1 for the ears. For our second row, we'll chain 1, turn our work, and into this very first stitch right here directly under our chain, we're going to put 2 single crochets into here. And then we're going to single crochet once into your next 2 stitches. And then into our last stitch, we want to put 2 single crochets into there. And there is round 2 for our ears. For round 3, chain 1, turn, and starting in your very first stitch, we want to single crochet into your next 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So here we are with round 3. For round 4, chain 1, turn, and then just like round 3, single crochet into 6 stitches. And there's round 4. Round 5, chain 1 and turn, starting in your very first stitch again. We want to put 2 single crochets into there, and then we want to single crochet 1 time into your next 4 stitches. And then into our last stitch, we want to put 2 single crochets. So there's round 5, which had a total of 8 stitches. For round 6, chain 1 and turn, starting in that very first stitch, single crochet into your next 8 stitches. And there we are for round 6. For round 7, chain 1, turn, starting in your very first stitch. We want to single crochet once into your next 8 stitches. And there we are for round 7. For round 8, chain 1, turn, starting in your very first stitch. We want to do 2 single crochets, and then we want to single crochet once into your next 6 stitches. And then into our last stitch, we want to put 2 single crochets. And there we are with round 8. For round 9, chain 1, turn, and then single crochet starting in your very first stitch into your next 10 stitches. And there we are with round 9. Now for rounds 10 through 20, we're simply going to repeat row 9. So chain 1, turn, and then single crochet into your next 10 stitches. All right, so for round 21, we'll chain 1. Then we're going to single crochet decrease, starting with that very first stitch. And then we're going to single crochet into your next 6 stitches. And then single crochet decrease. And there's row 21. For round 22, chain 1, turn, single crochet decrease, and then single crochet once into your next 4 stitches. And then single crochet decrease. And there we are for round 22. For round 23, chain 1, turn, single crochet decrease, and then single crochet into your next 2 stitches, and then single crochet decrease. And there's round 23. For round 24, chain 1, turn, single crochet decrease, single crochet decrease again. And then we'll go ahead and tie off. So here we have all 4 pieces of our ears created. We're going to start with 2 of our pieces of ear. Now, if we look, here is the very bottom where we ended and tied off. Here is the very top. We are going to first start and match them up evenly. And from here, we're going to create a slip knot and attach our yarn right into that very first top stitch. I'm actually matching up where the tails from where I attached all went into. Then from here, chain 1. Now we're going to want to work down the side, putting 1 single crochet evenly spaced down the side. So we're going to want 1 single crochet per row going all the way down. Now here at the bottom, just continue following all the way around the edge of the ear, working both pieces together. And we're going to continue and work all the way up the other side. Now that we're back up here at the top for our ear, we're going to take our ear and kind of fold it so that the pink or the inner ear, whichever color you've used, is towards the inside. Then we're going to single crochet right into that first chain 1 stitch where we started in order to hold that together. And then from here, we're just simply going to tie off, leaving our ends a little bit long, I'd say about 12 inches. So we can go ahead and sew that onto the body of our rabbit. Now go ahead and repeat this process with the other ear. So from here, we're going to attach our ears into our body of our rabbit. So I'm leaving it so that the pink fold is facing towards the front of the rabbit. And I have my yarn threaded into my darning needle, and I like to count down 1, 2, 3, 4 rows and attach the ear right into that 4th row on the very side of our rabbit's head. And then we're going to use and go through all those stitches along the top fold in order to sew it directly to the body, or should I say the head. I'm just making sure I have a very good secure connection with the ear to the head, and then I'll go ahead and tie off, and then just repeat this process with the other ear to attach it. So now after our ears are all attached to our rabbit, our next step is to start creating the arms. Now you're going to want to make 2 of these. So we're going to start this by creating a magic ring, and then chain 1, and we want to single crochet 8 times into that magic ring. And then from here, we're going to pull the tail of our magic ring in order to close. And for this, with the arm, we're going to work in the round. So this is actually going to be the end. You could slip stitch into your chain 1 in order to join and then start the next row with the chain 1. But because we're not changing colors onto this round, I'm going to just work in the round. But if you're going to change colors at all throughout the round, make sure you do the slip stitch into a chain 1 and then chain 1 at the beginning of each round. For round 2, we're going to do 2 single crochets into each stitch from the previous row. So we're going to end up doing 16 single crochets. Now, yes, I'm just going to use a marker so you can see, and I'm going to put that into the last stitch of the previous round. For round 3, we're going to single crochet 2 times into our next stitch. And then we're going to single crochet into our next 7 stitches. And then we're going to repeat that, 2 single crochets into your next stitch, 1 single crochet into your next 7, and there we are for round 3. For round 4, we're going to simply single crochet once into your next 18 stitches. And there we are with round 4. For rounds 5 through 8, we're going to repeat row 4, so single crochet into your next 18 stitches. Now we've finished row 8. Row 9, we're going to single crochet, decrease, and then we're going to single crochet once into your next 7 stitches. And then we're going to repeat that again, single crochet, decrease, and single crochet once into your next 7 stitches. And there we are with round 9. For rounds 10 and 11, we're going to simply single crochet once into your next 16 stitches. So go ahead and do that for rounds 10 and 11. For round 12, we're going to single crochet, decrease, and then we're going to single crochet into our next 2 stitches. And then we're going to repeat that 3 more times. Single crochet, decrease, single crochet into your next 2 stitches. Now for rounds 13 through 25, we're simply going to single crochet once into your next 12 stitches. And we're going to repeat that going all the way around until we have reached row 25. Then go ahead and stuff our arm with your polyfill and then tie off, leaving about a 12-inch tail. So from here, now we have our arms made. What I'm going to do is kind of take our arm and almost like fold it in half. Now onto the body, we're going to count down from where the neck is, 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And right into here is where we're going to sew on our arms to. So I'm going to put it right onto its side and simply just sew that arm, keeping it in half, right into that little section. And make sure you sew it on real good and secure. I'm not sure about you, but at least in my home, my kids are very rough with their things. So making sure it's very secure is one way to ensure you're not going to have to come back and mend it very shortly after. And then just tie off and repeat the same process for the other arm on the other side. Alright, so our last step, we need to create our rabbit's tail. So we're going to create a magic ring, chain 1, and then we want to single crochet 6 times into that magic ring. Now we have our 6 single crochets into there. We want to pull our tail in order to close the ring. From here, we're going to start working in the round again. In our first stitch, we're going to put 2 single crochets. And then we're going to put 2 single crochets into each of the next 5 stitches. And there we are for round 2. For rounds 3 and 4, we're going to simply single crochet once into your next 12 stitches. And now at the end of round 4, for round 5, we're going to single crochet decrease into each stitch going all the way around. So we'll end up doing 6 single crochet decreases. And yes, I'm just going to tuck the tail from our magic ring right inside of the body for the tail. Now, from here, we're going to want to, you can choose to stuff our tail with a bit of polyfill. Granted, it's so small, it won't need much at all. I have made these before with no stuffing inside of the tail, so either way works just fine. And now we're going to want to do 3 single crochet decreases. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to pull up a loop and cut our yarn in order to tie off, and then thread it into our darning needle, and I'll show you how to sew it onto the body. Now we're taking the back side of our bunny, and we have the tail end of our little rabbit tail threaded into our darning needle. Now we're going to locate the back spot where the legs are stitched into the body. So right here is our first row. And now we're going to want to count up 4 rows. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And right here into the very center is where we're going to sew on our tail. And then we can go ahead and weave in our ends. And there we are. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a little thumbs up, like. Let me know in the comment section what you think about it. And if you have yet to subscribe, go ahead and hit that little subscribe button with that notification bell next to it so you can get a heads up every time I post a new video.